Hello everybody, just wanted to show a little build that I've been working on this week. The idea is coming from basically Noogie and Jungron. It's kind of a mix of two ideas I kind of picked up from them. Jungron had a Inquisitor, Fanaticism, Spellslinger, Orb of Storm last week I think. Which looked cool to me. I wanted to play Orb of Storm. It didn't end out as an Orb of Storm character, but still cool. And Noogie talked about the new bow rolls being pretty good with Battlemage potentially. So I combined those two and looked at bows and Battlemage. So the one thing that is really good with bows, so the elemental rolls are of course good on bows, right? But they're also good on staffs, and staffs also give plus gem levels. So why don't we use staff? I'm using bows because I wanted to play Spark, and Spark really likes projectile speed. And projectile speed is very easy to get on bows and on quivers. So for my bow, what I basically did is I bought a low dex requirement base with fractured flat lightning. In this case T2. I couldn't find T1 for some reason, or the only T1s I found were very high-end bows. And this base I think cost me around, I don't remember, probably 20C or something. And then I spammed essences on it to get flat lightning to spells, until I also got a high projectile speed roll and an empty suffix. On the empty suffix I crafted the betrayal craft for cast speed and arcane surge, which worked out pretty good. You can also use any other flat healer rolls. Cold damage is nice if you maybe can chill. I don't think I chill, but yeah. The only problem with bows is you can't really go crit. There is no good crit rolls on bows for spells. And on quivers, I mean, I guess you could go crit, but since we don't go crit in our ascendancy anyways, what I decided is I wanted to go non-crit. More on that later. Another nice thing about being bow is we can use Azenath's Chant, which gives us 4 free spells, basically. So what we basically have to do to keep up Fanaticism is to attack once a second. So like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we get Fanaticism. So ideally our gameplay loop looks like this. We attack once a second, we cast in between, and we try to keep Fanaticism up as much as possible. I'll talk more about the plus and negatives on Fanaticism, but yeah, that's about that. Azenath's Chant gives us 3 spells, as you just saw. So I have in here Hydrosphere, Orb of Storms, Cold Snap, and Tornado. These are experimental. I think way better would be Sniper's Mark instead of Tornado. But right now I have this ring, so I'm going to shut up about Sniper's Mark. But yeah, I have Conductivity right now, but Sniper's Mark would be better. I think better single target at least. And Cold Snap I have because I have these gloves right here, Algo Mortis. Enemies in your trading areas take 29 increased lightning damage, 29% increased, which is really nice, and we also sap. So we want some chilling area. We can use Cold Snap, we can also use Frostbomb, but I used Cold Snap because I liked better uptime on Frenzy charges. Even though I use Frenzy, but yeah, so I like Cold Snap. Yeah, so right now I'm running these gems here: Spark, Pierce, Lightning Pen, Spell Echo, Pinpoint, Heal Focus. But yeah, Anomalous Pierce gives us extra pierces, which is very nice. Yeah, and on my Frenzy I use faster attacks because it's very clunky, as you just saw, and Onslaught. Onslaught never procs. I think I might get rid of it. It's because my accuracy is shit, of course. Then I have Defiance Banner, Determination, Vitality, Discipline, Sigil of Power sometimes used. RF is sometimes, right now it's hard to use, but I can use it. Custom damage taken Molten Shell because I'm wearing armor. You can see my rares are very basic. Of course, I use the max life, max ES, craft, and corrupted soul. The string is very nice. I got lucky sniping it and hitting a lucky annual. Crafting the life on it. But yeah, it's a very good amulet to be fair, right? But yeah, that's my year. Here we also have Pierce and Prot Speed and Life. This is a very nice quiver, but also wasn't very expensive. Yeah, so what we are speccing into right now is of course Prot Speed, as much as possible, and then gem levels. Yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna show you my passive tree. This is what my passive tree looks like. So here is my Glorious Vanity with Corrupted Soul. I've gotten very lucky with the Vaal notables here. Another crucial thing here is lightning damage with non-crit strikes is lucky, because we don't crit at all. Basically, our crit chances, what? Like, yeah, 6%. We don't crit that often, we only proc the overload, so lucky is very strong for us. We get +1 to intensity here. Yeah, pen is nice. We get energized armor here with these notes. Something I learned from Nito is that you get very nice percent armor here. I'm running Divine Shield. My exposure is stronger. Yeah, just very basic armor skill. Now to the expensive part of the skill. I'm speccing into duration here. You could also try to go down here, but it's very expensive. You get life here, but I'm not sure if it's worth it. And I need the dex here, so I rather went for this life. The expensive part of the build is, but also the very nice part of any spark build, is the gain on spell hit, right? I've yes on hit discipline watches eye here, which gives me a lot of ES on hit, and because I have so many pierces and so many projectiles, I gain a lot of ES on hit, right? And in combination with that, I have this ring, the Crusader ring, and I think also Shaper ring can give life gain for each enemy hit by your spells. Very nice for us. So in the same way that Corrupted Soul makes our Consecrated Ground more effective, it also makes our life gain on hit and ES gain on hit more effective, since we always take life damage and ES damage, basically. Yeah, this is our Ascendancy choice, as I said, Fanaticism and Battlemage. And yeah, I'm gonna now show you the map, I guess. Be warned, this whole thing is a proof of concept, right? I wanted to make Fanaticism and Battlemage with a bow work, that's my goal. This build is not crazy good. I've put quite a bit of currency into it. I don't know how much I'm gonna say. The watches I was expensive, the rest was cheap, but I still used a bunch to craft. I'm gonna say 10x maybe. So I'm gonna show you a map. I'm just gonna pick some random T14 map. I don't know. Let's take Silo. No, Boss sucks at Silo. Affirmation. Okay. Just I can go. Sure, looks fine. I'm gonna run it with me even. Yeah, and now I'm gonna show you the gameplay loop, as you saw it before. So you can see my recovery is quite nice, especially with big packs like these, because we pierce and we hit a lot of times per second. But you can also see my chaos dress is shit, right? And also the gameplay loop is very clunky. I have to attack a lot. I have to spam my mana blast if Fanaticism isn't up. Fanaticism gets rid of our mana cost, but if I don't have Fanaticism, I still need mana to get Fanaticism up and rolling. Right, so yeah. With Legion it's very nice, it's very satisfying to me, at least. Ooh, got it, nice. Yeah, right now this build is it's not super tanky, right? Because I don't have any chaos rest and my armor is okay, but not great. And I have a lot of recovery, but not a lot of one-hit, one-shot defense. I'll pick this up later. Yeah, but all in all, I think it's very easy to get this kind of set up off the ground and running in trade. So if you get a good bow with some good fractured roll, right? It's very nice. You can easily craft a lot of flat damage on it with the flat spell damage essences and then trying to go for some other stuff you like, right? This doesn't only work with Spark, of course. For Spark bows are very nice because of the prot speed, but you can also do it with pretty much any other weapon that also gets flat damage on it, as far as I know at least. Maybe you guys know more about that. Also, this is kind of my first video, so of course sorry for my audio quality, but yeah, all I have right now. And also, if there's anything about this build I haven't noticed, or maybe some nice interactions we could use to make it better, then tell me about it. I'm all ears. I'm by no means an expert in PoE. I'm pretty much new. Yeah. I'm gonna shut up and play the rest of the map. Yep, that was that. With Spark, the map layout is very important for you, right? A map like this is okay. Delve is great, Delve is awesome. An open map like, let's say, I don't know, Arcade or something is horrible. Not Arcade, but Fields or something like that. Or Burning Forest, whatever it's called. So yeah, that's weaknesses and strengths of the build that you have to kind of deal with, right, or have to keep in mind. Another weakness of the build is dex requirements of some bows are quite high. So this one is a low base, but if you, for example, wanted to go for the movement speed base, which is very nice, you might have to get really high dex. I have 2 times dex on my tree. I have dex on some parts, I don't remember which ones, but yeah, I tried to get dex a lot. Sometimes it was a bit annoying. Yeah, and also, as you saw, the defenses aren't very good right now, right? I don't have a shield, which would be nice. And also, to be honest, there's no reason to build this build instead of the Nebulous Aegis Aurora or Double Nebulous Lightning Wrists, Melding of the Flesh Sparklers right now. These are just better, especially with the crit, right? This build doesn't go crit. We can't, basically. We can maybe make it work, but it's hard. So yeah, I think as a proof of concept, it's cool. I think I just wanted to show how it's possible to kind of make this semi-viable and give this idea to the community, and maybe see if somebody else comes up with something nicer, something cooler. Maybe can marry this idea to some other idea and maybe get a nice cool build. Yeah, but that's about it. Ideas for upgrades that I haven't done is, for example, switch out this ring and just get Sniper's Mark instead of the Tornado, which also makes the Spark split. I could get more life gain on hit for spell if I get another one here. For defenses, yeah, my Chaos just sucks My armor is okay, it's without flask, right? But with flask, yeah, it's still not incredible, even though I've specced into it quite a bit. Yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna put the POV in the description of this video, I guess. If there are any questions, yeah, let me know. And again, sorry for the audio quality. Yeah, see you around.